This is Kathy Biehl of Empowermentunlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of July 2nd, 2018. We are heading into eclipse season, and this one is one that will have ramifications for years. The next couple of weeks, the next couple of months promise to be even more chaotic and life-changing than what we've been through lately. And you know, if you've been listening to me for a while, that I am not an alarmist. And my words aren't intended to alarm, but to alert. Given the resets that are coming with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse later this month, I see this week as a time for staging. There are various ways we use the concept of staging. One of them is staging your house in order to sell it, setting things up in the most buyer-friendly, buyer-inviting way. You can also stage for a major project, for war, for a mission. When you gather all your resources together and set them up and arrange them in a way that you know you can use them. And staging is also what happens with a theatrical production. You gather your cast, plan the action, where it's going to go, get the sounds, get the costumes, and then you put it on the stage. No matter which way you look at the word staging, all of these come down to setting a goal and then arranging situations, plans, and resources in your life to go after that goal. And that is the optimal use of this week before the first eclipse hits on July 12th. We're already feeling it, though. A lot of information is already hanging in the air, which you can use to figure out what your resources are, what your allies are, and also to define your goal, which may be slightly different now. Over the weekend, the planet of communication had a hard awakening aspect with his crazy uncle, his genius uncle, Mercury and Uranus squaring. This knocked a lot of surprising information loose and knocked people upside the head and brought information to light, new ways of thinking to light, and the need to think about things, as they say, outside the box. This week, the planet of communication has a standoff with the god of war, retrograde Mars, the cosmic first responder or action hero. He's the planet of push. He represents the masculine forces, how we go about going after what we want. He is retrograde until the end of August, and his retrograde journey is going to lead to a lot of backtracking, regressiveness. Maybe you've seen some displays of anger and frustration, but also opportunities to revisit, grabs for do-overs. Maybe you've seen some of that, and those can be positive too. Keep that in mind. So with Mercury opposing Mars, all week long we will have the opportunity to look at and think about other people's anger, other people's actions, what men are up to in the collective, and to strategize how we want to go about things. This is part of the staging process. Look at your goal and what maybe you need to redo or rework or repair. Mars rules moving objects, so there could be a lot of breakdowns for the purpose of getting things in the condition that you need when the crazy eclipse energies start getting really active. There is a huge emotional component to all of this as well. This week brings another round of the sensitivity and tenderness and, yes, perhaps weepiness that many people experienced at the beginning of June when Venus in Cancer joined the water trine that's been going on all year between expansive Jupiter in Scorpio and transcendent Neptune in Pisces. Jupiter in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces have created a bridge between the deepest parts of our being and the highest parts of our being. And in early June, our concepts of home, family, what we value, relationships joined into the dance, and a lot of people were phenomenally emotional, and there were a couple of extremely attention-getting, heart-wrenching suicides that occurred at that time. This week, the sun is moving into that same dance, the sun in Cancer, which makes it even more personal. We may well be assimilating what all of that sensitivity of early June meant for us personally. We may be acutely aware of our own monsters, our own delusions, our own perceptions and resources and inner wealth, our own compassion and links to something far higher, our own sources of creativity and guidance. Don't discount your emotional experiences. It's important to undergo them and to actually sort of sit in them right now, because they are tenderizing you and watering ground that later will be blossoming very shortly, actually. And whatever you're experiencing will play a role in how you're staging for whatever it is you want to pursue next. Homing thought of the week, dream big. Song of the week, Do You Know Where You're Going To by Diana Ross. And the image of the week is contemplating a chess move. There's more about all of this in my forecast for the month of July, which is posted at my site, Empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list, book a session with me, and help yourself to my Uranus in Taurus guide, which contains pointers about the next 8 years for us all collectively and for each sign, and it's available in the shop. Talk to you next week.